The check went out on the first of every month. $6,600. I know the number by heart because I wrote it 8 times once a month for 4 years. I never signed my name with a flourish, just a quiet line in the space above my printed name. The money came from an account my wife's mother had never seen, never asked about, never imagined existed. She thought I was a project. Her daughter had married beneath herself in her telling. A man who managed other people's money instead of making his own. Who wore suits that fit but weren't Italian. Who nodded at holidays and washed dishes while the family talked over him. She called me level, headed the way other people say unremarkable. I let her. The apartment was in my name. I'd had it before we married. A 2-bedroom in a pre-war building with elevator that still required an operator until 2018. My wife moved in slowly, then entirely. Her mother visited often enough to treat it as her own, that Thursday she let herself in with the key we'd given her for emergencies. She brought pastry. She sat in the chair by the window, the one I'd picked, paid for, had reupholstered, and told us her oldest son needed the space. Michael and Alina want to start a family, she said. They can't afford anything this nice. You two are comfortable. You're young. You can find something smaller. My wife looked at the floor. I watched her mother's hands smooth her skirt. I said, when? She blinked at me, surprised I'd spoken. Next month would be ideal. The rental market slows in winter. But okay. She stopped. My wife looked up. I stood, collected the pastry plates, and washed them in the sink. Behind me, they talked in lower voices. I dried my hands, went to bed. 2. I woke at 5, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table with the lease, the bank statements, a yellow legal pad. I did not write a list of grievances. I did not write a letter. I wrote down what I would need: movers, boxes, a storage unit, a new address for mail. I called the moving company at 7:58. 2 minutes before they opened, the man on the phone asked for the delivery address. I gave him the name of a storage facility in Jersey. Everything. Everything. He paused. You sure, sir? That's a full apartment. Yes. I started packing in the bedroom. My clothes first, then my books, then the things I'd brought into the marriage, a lamp from my grandfather's study, a painting I'd bought at a graduate school auction, a set of whiskey glasses no one in her family ever used. My wife came home at noon. What are you doing? I folded a shirt. What your mother asked. She didn't mean, she meant exactly what she said. The shirt went into the box. I sealed it with packing tape. My wife sat on the edge of the bed. We should talk about this. Okay. Silence. Where will we go? You'll go where you want. She heard it then. The weight I hadn't raised my voice to carry. I didn't agree with her, she said. You didn't disagree. I kept packing. 2. Her mother arrived at 6. I heard her in the living room, her voice climbing from confusion to alarm. Then she peered in the bedroom doorway, my wife behind her, eyes wet. What is this? She gestured at the half-packed room. Moving. I told you to find a new place. I didn't tell you to. It's my apartment. She straightened. Your wife's name is on the lease, too. Her name isn't on the checks. I watched her face process this, watched her search for the trap, the trick, the bluff, found none. What do you mean? I told her every month, every check. 4 years. The security deposit, the broker's fee, the overpriced handyman who charged double to fix the kitchen sink on a Sunday. The utilities in my name, paid from my account. The groceries delivered on my card. She said, that's not possible. I pulled out the bank statements, stacked them on the dresser, 4 years, 12 months each. She stared at them the way you stare at something you don't recognize but know you should. Where will they go? She asked. I didn't know if she meant my wife or her son or herself. That's your question now. Ooh. The movers came Friday morning. I directed them through the apartment, pointing at what was mine. They took the bed I'd bought, the dresser, the chair by the window, the kitchen table where her mother had sat and told me to leave. My wife stood in the hallway, arms crossed. Her mother stood on the sidewalk, watching furniture disappear into the truck. The last box went in at noon. I handed the movers cash, walked back inside one final time. My wife was in the empty living room. "You could have told her years ago," she said. I didn't want to. Why? Because then I would have been the person who pays the rent instead of just her daughter's husband. And I thought maybe you needed me to be just that. She didn't follow me out. The storage unit is climate controlled. I visit sometimes not to retrieve anything, but to remember what I carried without help. My new apartment is smaller. The view is a brick wall. The rent is $2,100. I pay it on the first of every month, and it takes me 5 seconds. Her mother left messages. First angry, then confused, then in the last one, quiet in a way I'd never heard. I didn't know. You should have told me. I didn't call back. Not because I'm punishing her, because for the first time in 4 years, no one in that family knows where I sleep, and that small privacy, that ordinary unclaimed space, feels more like home than any room I've ever paid for.